Could Rasmus Hojlund be trading Atalanta for Manchester United this summer? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Yes, today's video we are centering it around the Atalanta striker known as Rasmus Hojlund, a player that has been consistently and consecutively linked with a move to Manchester United this summer, as United and Erik ten Hag are seriously looking at beefing up their attacking options going forward into the forthcoming season. This is a young striker with a lot of potential ahead of him, a lot of raw ability right now, and a lot of rough around the edges type of feeling towards him. But, like I say, there is a lot of potential to this guy, and United are seemingly wanting to take him off of Atalanta's hands going forward, and if reports are to be believed, are seemingly growing in confidence of making that a reality. We're going to be talking about Hojlund and how he may fit in with Manchester United going forward, but before we go any further, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things are always and forever greatly appreciated. And of course, I encourage you to get involved in the comment section as well. I'm sure you have your own thoughts, your comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it on this particular transfer story that will make for great and interesting reading down below in that comment section. So do get involved down there. Let me hear from you. Let me hear what you have to say on this potential big transfer story for Manchester United and for Rasmus Hojlund. But without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's talk Rasmus Hojlund. Let's talk Manchester United. Right off the bat, you'll instantly know that he shares a similar sounding name with one Erling Haaland of Manchester City. This isn't to be the case. This is just a mere coincidence. He is Danish and Haaland is Norwegian, of course. Rasmus is also 20 years of age, so slightly younger than what Haaland is right now. He is not in any way, shape or form, as of right now, on Haaland's level. But at the same time, he does possess some traits and some qualities and some attributes and abilities that are in the process of becoming a top striker. Whether that can obviously be still worked upon, and whether they can actually grow and evolve still, obviously remains to be seen, and whether or not he can actually grow into a top class talent that, of course, the potential and expectation laid before him is seemingly suggesting he may become. The story here is simple. Atalanta have got a striker that Manchester United want. Manchester United, as we know, have been looking to improve their striking options. Marcus Rashford obviously does his best work from the left-hand side, being a more of a left winger. So, of course, him being a striker doesn't necessarily make much sense. Anthony Martial has got legs that are made of breadsticks, and therefore he can't play more than 5 games at a time without getting injured for another 8 or 10 more games afterwards. So he seems to be an option that Erik ten Hag has lost his patience in. What we know is that United have been linked with a number of strikers across this transfer window already. The likes of Harry Kane of Tottenham, Victor Osimhen of Napoli, Kolo Muani, and of course Rasmus Hojlund. But Hojlund is certainly one that has stuck around. Hojlund doesn't seem to be a striker that is going away anytime soon. And like I say, the reports are seemingly suggesting that United are growing in confidence of maybe signing this guy going forward in this transfer window. The story is that Atalanta are seemingly wanting a fee of around about 85 to 90 million. United seem to be confident that they can whittle down that price tag and maybe get a fee of somewhere in the region of 40 to 50 million. They also may have an ace in the hole because Atalanta have seemingly suggested that they may be interested in taking Amad Diallo from Manchester United. So there could potentially be a bit of a part exchange kind of deal there that could be worked upon. Maybe Diallo could be thrown in as well as cash for this guy. So there are a few options for the two teams to explore going forward in terms of negotiations. And like I say, maybe United have that ace in the hole of Amad Diallo to use as a bit of a counterweight to obviously drive the price low and also get rid of a player who may be a bit of surplus to requirement as far as what Manchester United are concerned, depending on how they feel about Diallo's development over the past year or so. Either way, it does seem United are growing in confidence, and it does obviously make sense that they are going after a striker. Obviously, after Mason Mount walking through the door at Old Trafford, and with Andre Onana, that deal seemingly being close, and extremely close at that, to being tied up, it does only make sense that they move on to another area of the pitch that definitely needs strengthening. And as we've said before, the striker position at Manchester United definitely needs strengthening. I'm going to be honest with you, right off the bat on this, I've not seen a great deal of this guy. I have not seen a massive amount on this guy. So I'll be talking a little bit from the little bits of the Serie A games that I've seen him play in. Little bits and pieces here and there, the odd game or two over the past year. I will also be talking about mainly off of the research that I've done, the bits that I've heard, the bits that I've seen, and the bits that I've read. So there'll be mainly more of that. So do take it with a pinch of salt about what I'm going to be saying here. What we know about this guy is he played, or he came through the development and the ranks of Copenhagen. Came through Copenhagen, their reserves, their under-19s, rose up through the youth setup of that, scoring plenty of goals during them times, and then moved to Sturm Graz of Austria, of course. After some time there, he moved to Atalanta last year. In Serie A last season, he scored 10 goals, for Atalanta, overall last season, in his first season there. He played 34 games, he scored 10 goals and assisted 4 times. Those 4 assists did come in Serie A, and he scored 9 goals in Serie A. So for a young striker, it's not necessarily a terrible or bad return. It's something that can definitely be worked upon. But when you see his stats and when you see what he possesses and what he brings to the squad, you can see that there's raw talent there. There's a lot of talent there, and there is a lot of potential there, and there's a very high ceiling with what this guy has to offer. And remember, he's still 20 years of age, so for him to still be rough around the edges is obviously to be expected, and he can obviously grow and evolve. And playing under a better manager and around better players and on a bigger stage at Manchester United, and of course a bigger stage in the Champions League for this season at the very least, he can obviously grow his game, and he can get better, and he can take his game up to another level. Of course he could. But what he brings to that side is, it's about his movement and his intelligence and his positioning. Those are the things right off the bat that instantly struck me. He is a guy that will get plenty of chances by being in the right areas at the right time. His movement and his intelligence of knowing where to be, how to fool defenders, whether it's on or off the ball, instantly caught my eye when I saw him, and from what I've researched and from what people have said as well, has instantly caught their eyes as well in terms of that aspect. So there is a lot of potential there for the more creative outlets of Manchester United to really work off of this guy, and to sort of, once they get used to his runs and where he's going to be moving to, then finding ways to try and find him with the ball in order to obviously create a very good scoring chance for them. His link-up play is decent as well. He doesn't mind dropping deep, linking up play with his teammates, and then obviously trying to move forward in terms of that aspect. So his hold-up play is going to be good. And what we know about the way that Erik ten Hag tried to play last season by bringing in a Wout Weghorst, for example, is that he wanted someone to be a bit of a target man and for someone to link up play. Weghorst was very good at being that target man, being that link up, but wasn't exactly good with his finishing. Well, Hojlund could certainly do that, and he could also be a bit more of a lethal finisher. Again, finishing is an area of his game which he needs to improve upon, but he's two-footed, he's got speed, he's got power, he's got strength, he's agile, and he's skillful. He's got good technical ability for right now, and all of those areas of his game are very good for the here and now, but they can also be improved upon. If Ten Hag is looking for a player that is going to be able to link up play, drop deep link up play, as well as burst forward on the counter attack, as well as uses intelligence, uses movement, uses speed, uses power, uses strength to hold up play and to go past opposition defenders. This could be a guy that could definitely work for him. Like I say, he's very rough around the edges. He's pretty raw. But you know what? As far as a long-term investment goes, maybe he bleeds into the first season and he does okay. But I think maybe in a few years' time, maybe he could definitely improve. And I'm saying that as a Liverpool fan who is trying to be as objective and is trying to be as fair and neutral as possible on this guy and on this signing for Manchester United. So, for me, like I say, he looks decent, but it is a gamble. And that's the bottom line on this. Like, he looks good. He looks good, whether it's going to be more so for the future than it is for the here and now. But he looks promising. He looks like he's the kind of player that ticks a lot of boxes for Erik ten Hag. Possesses a lot of traits and a lot of attributes and a lot of ability that Ten Hag would love to have at his disposal, and obviously would love to kind of help create a mould to become even better than what he right now is, and obviously to try and explore and to try and help him reach the potential that's set before him. But it is a gamble. For one thing, you're arriving from Serie A league that is not as combative, not as physical, not as high demanding. Maybe it is getting more so in recent years, but the Premier League is still a bigger stage. The Premier League is still got a lot of high profile and high demand, as well as being obviously part of Manchester United, which is a team that demands exceptional quality and exceptional standards. You're of course moving to that. Is that going to affect him at a young age? He's 20 years of age. That could affect him. It is going to be a gamble for that kind of raw talent. But if Ten Hag can enhance it, if Ten Hag can help him, if his teammates can help him, if he can find some way to play without fear, play without any sort of worry, shall we say, then this guy could definitely be up there with one of the... He could definitely be up there. He could definitely be up there with everything that he possesses, with everything that he's currently got right now, with the teammates around him, with the right manager, everything that he's got going for him. He could definitely be up there one day. And like I say, I think it's a very good signing. It's obviously, I don't want it to happen because it's United, and it's obviously one of those things where I'm looking over at United and I'm not really happy about it. But at the same time, you know, that's what this channel's about. It's about talking about all things football, and, you know, United are unfortunately part of it. But, you know, I'm grown up enough to talk about it. So, there you have it. But yeah, Rasmus Hojlund, he looks good. He looks like he's got a lot about him. He looks like he could definitely fit in with the Ten Hag way of playing. A little rough around the edges, a little raw, but has got a big, or at least a high ceiling in which to explore his potential and his talent to enhance going forward further. And like I say, you put him with the likes of Bruno Fernandes, you put him with the creativity of the likes of Anthony and Marcus Rashford, the kind of the pace, the power that they all represent. Add him to the mix as well. He's going to get a ton of chances in this Manchester United team. He's going to keep on working hard, and I see it being a smart move. I see it being a smart move. It's not a guarantee. Of course, nothing is. It's not a dead cert, like maybe more so what a Harry Kane would be. But at the same time, it's certainly one to watch for the future. He is certainly one to watch for the future, it seems. And like I say, it'll be interesting to see what Man United do with this guy. If they do go for him, do they bring in another striker who is a bit more experienced, shall we say, to maybe take some of the weight off Hojlund a little bit? Maybe give him someone to learn off. Maybe give him someone to sort of learn from and to gain experience from. Or do they just basically give him that starting position up front, leading the line, and say, I have complete faith in you to go and bag us 15 to 20 goals next season. And Rashford and Fernandes and maybe even Anthony may actually do the rest. So I'm intrigued to know what's going to happen with this, but those are just my thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, on Rasmus Hojlund and the possibility and the potential of him maybe signing for Manchester United. What do you guys think? What do you make of this potential transfer story? What do you make of Rasmus Hojlund going forward? Could he be a Manchester United player at some point during this transfer window? Could he be a star striker for United or for the Premier League going forward? I'd love to know what you guys think and feel. Your comments, thoughts, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, down below in that comment section. I'm sure we'll all make for interesting and great reading. Otherwise, hit that like button on the way up. Enjoy the video. Subscribe if you're new or want to see more content like this. Both things are always and forever greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will see you all again soon in another video.